The tour last year was probably one of the most painful but proud moments that I've actually had in my entire time in Intercom. I remember at the very, very end of it when it was over, we high-fived and I was like, let's never fucking do this again. So we're here doing it again.
We're going on tour again.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, going on tour is amazing.
The excitement of being there with your colleagues to like open up and put on a show and share these things with the world and connect with people is unparalleled.
It's really, really hard to get other people to carry your vision and to understand your project, even on the most simple of levels.
When Megan first explained her vision for the tour to me, I was equally excited and scared.
Yeah, the first thing I wanted to know was like, when, where?
Berlin, Tel Aviv, Paris and London. We'll go back to New York, but we're going to Vancouver for the first time. We're going to Australia for the first time. And we're going to finish up in Chicago this year because that's our new home.
It's basically trying to move further away from what's typical, a conference feel of things and what people are used to when they go to these, and go towards more actually crafting something that feels like more of a show.
No MC this time. There are no breaks in the show. It's one long show like any other theatre show. There are no slides. Taking away all of that stuff allows people to actually just listen and experience a show.
What they should expect is like a live, living, breathing window into like a software company that's like warts and all recap of the things that go right and wrong as you set about building a product first company.
Just the culture of the company has always been to be pretty open and to get maybe as much of a kick out of like thinking about how to do this and sharing it as actually doing it, which is a nice difference from like working for a bigger company like Google or something like that, where it's very much about secrecy and you don't get to do that sharing thing.
I think it's really risky, but it's also like it has a lot of integrity, it's super honest. And I think one thing I notice is because the blog that we have, Inside Intercom, is so popular these days, a lot of people will ask me questions about it and assume that everything inside the company is kind of textbook perfect, everything. The reality is that we live life as if we're living out these blog posts, and of course life is always messier than that.
It's very rare for a tech company to expose their inner workings, and most do it out of a fear of being copied. Every time I share something on our blog or on Twitter, I learn a lot. People reply and tell me how wrong I was, or add color, or ask me questions, and all those things make me better and improve my understanding of something.
On the inside, everything looks like chaos. On the inside, you're like, why has everyone else got their shit together? And why are we such a basket case? Why is it just such a mess? Look at all these beautiful clean launches that everybody else is doing. Like their output is perfect and they write great Medium articles about like this process that they apparently went through in order to reach this conclusion. And yet like, gosh, there's always some drama, here. What's the story?
We're writing our own music, we're creating our own animations, and we kind of just have like an interesting creative setup.
This has been like a particularly good opportunity for us to just like explore a bunch of things that we haven't done before. Mm-hmm. Things that you don't ordinarily see coming from like a software company.
My talk is kind of the story of how we've evolved building our product, and it's coming along, I have bones of a thing. Intercom is this like incredible journey, and so much happens and so much stuff has changed, and I actually can't remember.
It's hard to talk about people without talking about people, and it's not fair to talk about people to make them a part of a talk, right? It's hard to get into specifics of what goes wrong along the way without frankly like violating people's their own right to privacy, which means you have to kind of form these abstract principles or these ideas of scenarios without getting specific, because specifics are just not fair or faithful to what we agreed with people.
There'll definitely be some key underlying themes that you'll get out of both my talk and Brian's talk, which is on the topic of product need marketing. I think there's always a very healthy tension between product's vision for what they want to build and marketing's understanding of what customers are actually looking to buy.
The marketing team's like, well, people search for live chat. That's what they have in their head. Do we really need to convince them? No, you're wrong. You don't need live chat. Actually, you need this other thing. It's called asynchronous messaging. I'm surprised you didn't search for asynchronous messaging. Come on, guys, get with it. So and I think that's like the really healthy, good tension. And marketing has to kind of be confident and say, yeah, what you wrote was compelling and interesting, and we've got product to back it up, but we're not going to pitch it that way.
If we can take a little bit of that learning and spread it around to other people and help other startups, do a little better, then that's amazing. Like, that's fantastic. I mean, I hope we wouldn't have to sell it. I hope we could just say, like, we're going on tour, join us.
Let's do it.
2 years ago, we had what was called a Project Awesome. And Project Awesome, everyone.
I did not name it for a start.
Project Awesome was, in retrospect, one of the worst projects that we've endured.
It wasn't awesome.
Like, there's no ambiguity as to the value of it and why we need to do it, but framing it as Project Awesome was, I thought, like, all right, we're kind of walking too far into this Kool-Aid pool here.